My Hero Academia is a show about a superhero society and what it means to be a hero. And that leads to some pretty amazing battles. Hey everyone, my name is Michael Thomas and today we are ranking the top 10 My Hero Academia fights. This is going to be taking us from season 1 all the way to season 4 with season 5 on the way. Without further ado, let's get into it. Number 10 is Deku versus Kachon, part 1.
Kachon! You always use a big right hook to start a fight. You can call me Deku, but I'm not the same helpless, defenseless kid anymore!
So this fight is basically the first test Deku has since coming up against Bakugo, since getting the power of One for All. So what I love about this is Deku doesn't really use his power that much. It's still just his entire will and determination to defeat Bakugo, and it messes Bakugo up a little bit. It's pretty insane. Deku kind of loses the battle, but wins the war because him and Uraraka pass the test while Ida and Bakugo fail. It's one of the best showings of Deku using his brain to kind of outthink Bakugo. Even though Bakugo has him clearly on power level, Deku was still able to hold his own simply because of his mind, and I love that part of the fight. Moving on to number 9, we're gonna have Deku versus Muscular.
One for all! 100%! I'm coming for you! Detroit!
Now this battle is completely different. Deku's just going like full force, as strong as he can, fighting Muscular, which is understandable. This is a different battle. He has to save this child named Koda. And so the fight between he and Muscular is one of the hypest moments you can get, especially where it comes in the story. Deku's never really used his power that well, and even in this fight, he doesn't use it very well at all. But he pushes himself as far as he can and nearly dies in the process. But he pulls it out, and it's a fantastic battle, and another character moment for Deku, seeing him progress throughout the story and become the world's greatest hero. Number 8 is another Deku fight, and we're getting Deku heavy, which is impressive. I really didn't think he would have that many when I made this list, but this is going to be Deku, Shoto, and Ida versus the hero killer Stain. So Stain, that entire arc was pretty well done. Ida's brother, he's getting revenge on his brother because his brother's pretty much like paralyzed by Stain. He's going around killing people who he feels are unfit to be heroes. So Deku, Ida, and Todoroki end up facing off Stain. And it's really great because Ida is really struggling against Stain at first because he's the one who first confronts him. Then Deku finds Ida, then Todoroki finds Deku, and now it's just like a 3-on-1 battle, and it's amazing seeing the teamwork and the friendship build between these 3 characters, because we even see that a little bit develop in later seasons. And so yeah, I love this moment. It's a great fight. I love the implication it has again on all the characters. It changes Ida, Todoroki, and Deku from this battle, and even changes Stain. We'll see what happens when he eventually gets reintroduced. Number 7, we have Sun Eater versus the Yakuza.
Hey! I'm enough on my own. This isn't looking good.
This is an interesting fight because we didn't know a lot about Sun Eater. Sun Eater is one of the members of the Big 3. You have Nejire Hato and Mirio Togeda. They're the Big 3, right? They're the third years, the ones that are gonna go become great heroes from UA. But we don't know much about Sun Eater because he's very timid, very shy. He doesn't really do a lot of talking. But seeing him want to buy time and actually step up and become a hero in this moment, fighting off the Yakuza, so the rest of his squad can go find Eri, was a fantastic moment. And I just love his power set. He's Kirby, where you can eat all these different foods and get on the powerful traits. I just think that's a really cool power, and I think he uses it very well in the series, like eating octopus, and all of a sudden he has tentacle arms, eating swordfish, and now he's got a sword for an arm. I think that's really cool. Eating the guy's crystal and getting, you know, like this shield covering over his body, I think is insane. It's a great moment for a character we didn't know a lot about, but it made me love the character of Sun Eater even more. And hopefully we see more of him soon, because that was a great fight. Number 6 is Red Riot and Fat Gum versus Rappa.
I won't regret anything, now or ever again! I'll do it! I'll become a hero! I'll protect people!
Now this fight is also from season 4, just like the Sun Eater. Here's what's going on. So Kirishima, the Red Riot, has this power called Red Riot Unbreakable. They're basically being a spear and a shield. And I love this battle because it's just showing us Kirishima's character development and his growth. He was very, very scared as a child, and he's kind of trying to overcome that fear. He doesn't want to run away. He wants to stand up to whoever's facing him. And so this moment is huge because this is a villain that's pretty much unbeatable for him and Fat Gum. But he's able to take every single hit, and Fat Gum's able to counterattack to make sure they get the finishing blow. I love this moment so much. It's one of the hypest moments I've ever had for a character not named Deku. Number 5 is going to be Endeavor and Hawks versus the high-end Nomu.
I've always hated that damn school motto, but it seems appropriate. I'll go plus ultra! Prominence!
So this battle is actually the last fight we see at the end of season 4. So going into season 5 now, that's the lasting impression we had for a whole year, marinating in our brains, right? Is Hawks and Endeavor versus High End. The High End Nomu is the strongest Nomu we've met so far. Seeing Endeavor go toe-to-toe with that, because remember how much trouble All Might had with the original Nomu. This one being even better, seeing the number 2 hero go toe-to-toe with it, blow for blow, is pretty incredible. That and seeing Hawks in action. We've never seen Hawks really do anything. We're kind of just introduced to him in the storyline, right? Seeing Hawks being able to save as many people as he can, taking out all these lower end Nomu, giving wings to Endeavor so he can fly and face off against the high end, is something that was unexpected, considering we just had the Gentle Criminal music festival arc, right? But it's amazing because I love seeing this character of Endeavor and Hawks, because it's something I didn't know I wanted. That's what I love about this battle, is I didn't know I wanted to see an Endeavor fight, but I love it, and that's why this is cracking the top 5. All right, so it's turned back into the Deku show. We're going to number 4. It's Deku versus Overhaul.
Who saves everybody! That's who I'm gonna be!
Deku and Overhaul was another fight we had in season 4. Deku and Overhaul are fighting, right? For Eri. This is pretty much what this fight is for Eri's life. Deku goes 100% infinite with One for All because he has Eri on his back. And we finally get to see Deku go all out. He's breaking his bones, but he's healing so fast that it's almost like it's not even happening. And that is a crazy concept in and of itself, that Deku's still damaging himself, he's just healing at an accelerated rate. That's what makes that so interesting to me, and that's what makes the fight so satisfying, because Overhaul is probably the biggest monster we've seen in the series. We've had evil guys, right? But he is straight up a child abuser, torturing this little kid, and that's something we never like to see. And seeing Deku go all out on this dude is one of the best moments in the show, especially again seeing him use 100% of One for All. We've never seen All Might even use 100% of One for All because he was always working on a power limit. So seeing that power at its highest point for the very first time is pretty ridiculous, and I think it's fantastic. All right, we're in the top 3. We're in the home stretch now. Number 3 is Deku versus Todoroki.
Gotta try and get close and give it everything! Come at me with your full power, Todoroki!
We're making this a throwback. We're going back to season 2, right? Sports festival. Todoroki is not using his fire side. He's rejecting Endeavor as his father. He's trying to reach out to Shoto and saying, hey, it's your quirks, not your father's. Be your own person. And in doing so, he basically lights the flame under Todoroki so he could become the hero that he needs to be, half cold, half hot. I love how Cementos basically has to interrupt the fight, and I love how resourceful Deku is. This is season 2 Deku, so he's using a lot of flicks, he's using his thumbs to flick back at Todoroki, and it's like he has no regard for his body whatsoever, even though it's just a sports festival and he needs to chill out. I love how he and Todoroki give everything they have, overcome their demons, and become better people for it. And it's beautifully animated. It's one of the best animated scenes in the entire show. I just love it when Todoroki goes like, and you see the colors, man. I love colors so much. Top 2, baby. Here we go. Number 2 is Deku versus Kachon, part 2.
This is bad! Watch out for his hand!
So this fight is a rematch from the part 1 battle, and what makes this one so satisfying is that Deku is more powerful. He's got control, he's got his shoot style, even if he's not the greatest at it. And so I love the fact that Bakugo basically challenges him. He's like, hey, you got this new power, I know All Might gave it to you, I want to see what you got. I love the animation in this. I love the color. I love the green and the orange for Bakugo and Deku. And when Deku does a little twirly twirl and you see the lightning, and it's just, again, beautiful use of colors, beautiful use of spacing. It's one of the most entertaining fights in the series. Seeing them go at full speed, not a lot of slow-mo, still seeing them shoot past each other. That is what makes it an engaging scene, and it also has stakes. Like, it's a fight between Bakugo and Deku, so it's not life or death stakes, but it's just seeing those two finally compare themselves to each other, seeing Bakugo break down in that fight and become really vulnerable is another great touch to make that scene very meaningful as a fan and as a viewer. And so that earned its spot all the way up to number 2. Number 1 is, of course, All Might versus Nomu.
A real hero will always find a way for justice to be served.
This is the first major battle in My Hero Academia. The rest were kind of just school exams, right? And tests. No, the League of Villains attack at the end of season 1. All Might has to rush in and save the entire class. What makes this work is that All Might's working on a time limit, Nomu seems to not have weaknesses, and All Might just doesn't care. He realizes that the Nomu's power is shock absorption, not shock nullification. So he hits this thing as many times at full force as he needs to before it eventually explodes, essentially. And that is extremely satisfying. Yuseiron kicks in. Everybody's just marveling at All Might go at this guy. It's a really great ending to the first season of My Hero Academia. It's a great showcasing of All Might's power. And it's also a great showcase of how strong a Nomu is, because this is the first time we've seen one, and it's going toe-to-toe with All Might until All Might has to go over his normal power limit. I loved that moment. It's still my favorite moment of the series. Whenever I think of My Hero Academia, I think of All Might versus Nomu. But yeah, that's my list for top 10 My Hero Academia fights, excluding season 5, because that's not out at the time of recording this video. But if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and leave a comment down below. I want to see what your top 10 lists are, or what do you think is a fight that I left off the list that deserved a spot. I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. And if you want to see more top 10 videos like this, please let me know. This is the first time I've done one. So if you enjoyed this, I'll make another one. Just let me know. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Have a great rest of your day. And as always,
Go beyond! Plus!